Hey my loves, how are you today? We are going to be talking about one of my true ghost stories. Today we're going to talk about the time I went to Vegas with my Uncle B. So I've got three uncles, my Uncle S, my Uncle D, and my Uncle B. And when I was like, I don't know, 8 years old or so, my Uncle B was talking about Vegas and telling me how awesome Vegas was because my Uncle B is kind of addicted to Vegas. He goes all the time. He's actually really good at Vegas. Some people aren't good at Vegas, and he's good at it. So he goes all the time. He loves it. And I was like, wow, this place sounded awesome. He made it sound like better than Disneyland. So I was like, I want to go. I want to go. And then he told me the bad news that Vegas is a city only for people 21 and older. And I was like, what kind of crap is this that they don't like children in Vegas? Well, he said not to worry. When you turn 21, I'm going to take you. You're a little kid. You're like, okay, yay. But 21's so far away. He actually kept his promise. Like the month before my 21st birthday, I get a phone call saying, hey, you ready to go to Vegas? I couldn't believe he even remembered. I was so excited. Yes, Uncle B, please, let's go to Vegas. So we go. And I had saved up like $700 to go. Well, the night before we take off, it was actually my birthday. And I went and bought a 40 of Mickey's with an old friend because I was like, I didn't know anything. I was just going to drink because it was my 21st birthday. Oh my gosh, if not for my Uncle B picking me up to put me in the car, I wouldn't have made it. He luckily grabbed my suitcases for me and everything because I got schnockered. Didn't even finish the 40, I don't think. And he came home while I was all passed out. He had to drive with me all passed out. I felt really bad for him. But anyway, so my uncle's awesome. And the first night of Vegas, I didn't really want to drink. I was like hung over really bad because of drinking the 40. And he didn't tell me if I drank more, it would get better. Although he did encourage I should have a drink at one point in time, I didn't put two and two together that if you drink more, the hangover goes away because you're drunk again. So we get back to the hotel later that night, and we had like a 6-pack of beer. And we're having a 6-pack in the front part of our hotel. So the front part of our hotel had like a kitchenette kind of area with a TV. And then it had a couch. And then there's a place to wash cups and dishes right here. And like a microwave and a little mini bar kind of thing. And then the bedroom part was in the back. And then the little bathroom was off to the side. So we're sitting there. I'm kind of like... My uncle's standing in front of the TV, and I'm sitting on the edge of the couch, on the arm of the couch, and the kitchenette sink and everything is, like, off to the side right here. So, when you're seeing something out of your peripheral, let's do, like, my red, So, like, this is, like, red. You can definitely see this. This is red. Let's see. How far can I put this and still see this? Right to, like, here. So, I'm talking to my uncle, but I could see this object right here. And so, it's a little girl, but it's standing right where... the sink would be. So the sink is no longer there whenever I'm seeing this girl, and she's short. She's like a little kid. So I'm 5'2". She would have probably been like 4'4", somewhere in there, somewhere really short. And it had orange hair, super orange hair, like natural orange red. And it was wearing a dark brown with like white spots, like and maybe dark blue flower kind of pattern on it. And it was a dress. And that's kind of like an odd, it's not like the normal girl in a white dress, right? This is like clothes from like the 70s is what it was looking like. It had some ruffle on it, and it was, the brown, the dark blue, and like little, I don't know, I could draw the pattern on the clothes because I've seen it so clearly. So anyways, I'm sitting there, got my drink. Uncle's got his drink. We're talking about whatever, Vegas, life, lights, my crazy hair apparently. And I see this thing and I keep looking over and I'm like, nope, that's just the sink. And I'm talking to Uncle and I see a little girl standing there and nope, it's still just a sink. Talking, happens a couple more times. Finally, my uncle says, stop looking over there. There's no one over there. Look into those keywords right there. There's no one over there. He didn't say there's nothing over there. He said there's no one. Okay, so, water, not wine, by the way. Although it does have orange essential oil from doTERRA in it. So, I'm like, why did you say there's no one over there? And he's all, oh, just don't worry about it. My uncle is weird like me. When I say weird like me, I mean he's been able to tell when people were going to die before they could die. So can I. He can see things. So can I. And I don't know the extent of his abilities because he doesn't talk about them because he doesn't like them. They scare him. So the fact that he said there's no one over there, I was like, oh my gosh, he freaking sees somebody. There is somebody over there. I know for a fact there was a little girl there now because he said there's no one over there. Means there was something freaking over there. So the night goes on. We end up going to our beds and nothing happens for the rest of the night. The next day, I had one strawberry daiquiri during a comedy show, and then we had to get to the hotel kind of early because he had to go to bed early because we had to drive back early the next day because he had work the next day. So we didn't really do any drinking. I mean, I could have gone schnockered, but I just, like I said, I screwed myself up by getting hungover on those stupid Mickeys with those stupid people the day before. So, that was, I mean, live with no regrets, but that was a small regret during that entire trip, honestly. It really, really was. I knew I had messed up. So, we are going to bed. It's like 8, 9 at night. My uncle passes out right away. I end up watching a movie about some guy who doesn't have a grandma anymore, and this old lady mistakes him as her grandson, and for whatever reason, he decides to play along, and he's like, this lady's like, grandson, kind of. Just, it's a very sweet movie. I don't even remember what it was called. Anyways, that's what I went to bed watching. Something sweet like that. Go to sleep. Turn off everything. I wake up at 2:22 in the morning, which everybody's like, isn't 3 o'clock in the morning the time you wake up? Yeah, normally that's what it is, right? So this is really weird because I woke up at 2:22. And I woke up, I'm sleeping like this. So I'm like kind of mountain climber position. So I have like my left leg is like up towards my chest. I'm on my stomach and my head is like this. And then, so my bed is up against the wall and there's the window and we're on the top story and we're the very last hotel room. There's no hotel rooms further that direction. We're at the end of the thing. And my uncle's bed, there's like this side table and there's my uncle's bed. And he's snoring away, very like sawing logs, you know. Right in my ear, right in my right ear, and it gives me goosebumps now to even think about it, I hear, I'm so glad I have my mommy with me. High-pitched like that, and loud as okay? Like, super loud, right in my ear. I'm so glad I have my mommy with me. And I'm just like, I shoot up in bed, hair is up everywhere, I flip around, and there's just a dark room. That's all. I'm hearing my uncle snore in the bed next to me. I'm seeing just a dark room. My eyes are as white as saucers. I'm like, what the heck? Was that in my mind? Did that really happen? What is going on here? I need to know, right? So I'm starting to calm down. My heart has been like pounding, but it's starting to calm down a little bit more. And I'm starting to be able to tell myself, I'm full of crap. That was just in my dream, and it woke me up because it was so vivid in my dream. Just about the point in time I tell myself that, from the other room, it's probably, 8 feet away, I hear it go, some other shit. I don't know what it said. It was so high-pitched and so loud. I was like, because my hair is up, okay? I had just convinced myself that I had woken myself up from some dream, and then this thing makes a noise again from the other room. I am like, oh my gosh. And then I'm just trying to calm down, trying to rationalize what's going on. I look out the window. There's nobody outside. Literally, there's nothing going on. This is like, almost 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. I'm just like sitting there, really creeped out. And then the TV from the living room in the other room turns on. Full blast. Full freaking blast. Brrr! And I'm like, and my uncle shoots up out of bed and goes, what is the matter? And he runs into the other room and he turns off the TV, and I swear he was snoring before he fell back on the bed. I swear he was snoring. He literally, and my uncle is famous for sleep. You don't wake up Uncle B, and you couldn't if you wanted to. He would sleep through nuclear disaster. Like, it doesn't matter. That's what he likes to sleep, okay? So this man shot up out of bed, ran to the other room, turned off the TV, and was literally snoring before he hit the pillow. I am like totally just like shaking at this point because my uncle reacted, so I know it was real, because he had to physically get up out of the bed to go turn off the TV. I'm like, the heck with this. We're getting up at 7 o'clock. I'm turning on the freaking, I'm turning on the TV. So I turn on our TV in the bedroom really, really low, just enough to where I can hear it. And I tell myself actively, if I hear anything else, I'm going to tell myself it's the TV. And I scooch all the way up to the wall and I face outward to where I first had heard the noise. And I literally put the pillow around my head and I closed my eyes super freaking tight. And I woke up the next morning with my arms hurting because I had been clenching the pillow across my ears all night. And I tried to talk to my Uncle B about it, and he didn't recall at all. He was like, oh, that sounds crazy. But part of me thinks that he did recall, and he just pretended not to know because, again, he doesn't accept the weirdness as easily as I do. He kind of blocks it out more. He feels guilt for it and thinks that he somehow brings on these things. But I know better because I've literally prayed to God, please take this away from me. If the things I'm seeing and experiencing aren't good, or if I'm bad, or whatever this is, please take it away from me because I want to be good. I want to be able to go to heaven too. And the only thing that happened was my abilities got stronger. So to me, that was God telling me it's not a bad thing. I don't know if my uncle ever tried to have that conversation. So, but that is my trip to Vegas ghost story, and my theory on it is there is a lot of things that happened in Vegas that are bad. She said, I'm so glad I have my mommy with me. So possibly, and this is really out there, possibly her mommy was like a hooker or something, and she had to bring her kid with her on work or near her on work, or maybe it was a drug deal gone bad, or maybe it was like a screwed up boyfriend situation she was dealing with something. But in the end of the story, in my mind, the mom got whacked and the kid did too, just from circumstance. It's a fact that you can find bodies all over Vegas if you just drive 20 minutes in any direction in the desert. Like, people do bad stuff out there all the time because it's barren. Nobody goes off into those places. And if you do, there's no water. You know, people are left out there to die all the time. Where I was at was a place called Jean, Nevada. Jean, Nevada is on the outskirts of Vegas. We did drive into Vegas for the day, but we were staying kind of on a really old piece of land that had been there a really long time. It's old to Vegas, and it was an older hotel as well. It wasn't a famous hotel, but it was an older hotel, and it was on a piece of land that who knows what has happened that long ago there. Vegas is really creepy. A little side note, I don't believe in children ghosts. I think that children go to heaven. I think that's really screwed up to believe that children are ghosts. However, I do believe that demons and entities, if a child was hurt or something bad happened to a child and it knows about it in that area and it can work off of that legend or that trauma or whatever that is, it might go ahead and manifest itself in a form that looks like a child to persuade you it is a child, so then you maybe feel sympathy for it or it can get something from you easier. That's my theory. Doesn't mean it's the correct theory, but that's definitely my theory. I don't believe in children ghosts. So that adds a little bit more creepy to that, because to me, that was a demon playing to be a child, trying to get my attention for whatever reason, for whatever it could get out of me. Maybe it fed off of that fear it got from me or whatever it was. But, so that's my theory on that. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a great night.